Welcome to round 3 of this year's Track Champions League. We've been to Mallorca, we've been to Berlin, but now we're in Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines, to the southwest of Paris, and the Vélodrome which will host the Olympic and Paralympic Games in just 9 months' time. So the men's sprint progresses to the semi-finals. The winner of each of these semi-finals, as you can see on your screen, will race for the final. It will be a 2-up sprint for the final, but we have 3-up sprints here for these semis. And we get underway. There's a big push off the line there at the top for our rider from New Zealand.
Yeah, Saunders is keen to take the lead here. This is a tricky job for Richardson right now. He's trying to manage 2 different people, but I think he's timed this pretty well. Off he goes into the back straight. He'll pin it on the black line now.
Yeah, Richardson comes around Saunders into the home straight, and it's a clear win there from Matthias Ruddick and a semi-final win for Matt Richardson. He is through to the sprint final.
That's a great ride by Matty Richardson there, and you know, we've seen him look really uncomfortable and sort of suffering with lactic acid overload after a few races, so hopefully he didn't have to go too deep there to get that win.
Joe Truman here just ducking and diving behind, making Levrayson look over his shoulder, seeing what he has to do. Sam Dakin on the front, checking over his shoulder, seeing where everybody else is. Joe Truman comes around the outside, forcing Levrayson out the saddle.
Joe tried really hard to get his handlebars in front of Harry's there, but it didn't work out for him.
Final lap now. Levrayson is in the lead, and we've got the on-board shot here from Harry Levrayson, and he is more than a bike length ahead. Look at that, 2-3 bike lengths down the home straight, over the line, looking over his shoulder. Job done. Easing over the line there at a 9.7 final 200 metres.
Wow.
And Emma Finucane's impressed.
He distanced riders that were right in his slipstream there. That is very impressive stuff by Harry Levrayson. There was a key moment there for Joe where they were almost 3 abreast, and he had right here, he had this little opportunity, this little window of opportunity to get his bars in front of Harry and sort of squeeze him backwards. I mean, Harry's trying there, but he had it all under control.
Levrayson goes high. Richardson realises it. Ooh, is this it? So the reason riders try to go for the tracks, and if you're on the front, in Matt Richardson's case, but you don't want to be on the front, you can force your rider to come past you by coming to a complete standstill in a track stand and hoping they do come underneath you and take the lead of the race.
Yeah, both riders have made it blatantly clear they don't want to lead this out. Harry is trying to intimidate him, trying to pressurize him into going faster than he wants, earlier than he wants.
Levrayson going high on the track, Richardson out the saddle, Levrayson right up on the fence, and we're coming into the final lap now. Richardson leading out, Richardson stays high, Levrayson drops down, both are on the black line now, and the speed of Levrayson down that back straight, out the saddle, onto the hip of Matt Richardson, and this is it into the home straight now. Richardson leads out on the line, Richardson takes the victory. Oh my God, that was spectacular. The crowd loved that. We loved that. Matt Richardson, last year's winner of the Track Champions League, is back. And now we're going to progress to the women's sprint semi-finals. That's confirmation of your semi-finals lineup. Elise Andrews, Nikki de Grendeler and Marta Bayona for your first of your 2 semi-finals.
Elise is trying to manage the speed here, trying to not let the riders behind get too much of a gap that they can rush into, but I think she's been forced to go earlier than she would have liked right now.
And the sprint is underway, final lap of racing. Elise Andrews is out there leading it, and Marta Bayona is coming round with a huge amount of speed. Can she do this? Can she get past on the line? Oh.
That was a close one. I think she just held on to it. Just.
They've given it to Andrews, but wow.
Just held on to it. As Kelsey Mitchell makes a move, goes over the top to take it on early.
Yeah, coming around for the bell this time. Kelsey Mitchell is accelerating down that home straight, takes the bell, just seeing the onboard shot there from Kelsey Mitchell's bike, and it is work to do from both of our riders behind. Propster's on the hip, but wound up at the moment, and they both tried to come around Kelsey Mitchell. It's 3 abreast coming out of turn 3. And it's Kelsey Mitchell that takes the win. The Olympic champion taking that on early, leading that out. Celebrations there for Kelsey Mitchell, 1,371 watts on that gold bike, and she is through to the sprint final for the first time at this year's Track Champions League. So I read this week Kelsey Mitchell saying she likes sprinting from behind, she likes to be in that position, seeing the rider in front of her, being able to dictate the race, making the other rider in front of her look over her shoulder, try to see where she is. Kelsey Mitchell accelerating now down the back straight, just going above the blue line, forcing Elise Andrews up the track. Not quite opening up the gap there for Kelsey Mitchell to go into, and the bell is rung. We were in the final lap. Elise Andrews leads out in that leader's skin suit. Kelsey Mitchell trying to get on terms down the back straight, just coming up to her back wheel. She comes alongside her, onto her hip, in the banking, into the home straight. Elise Andrews lunges for the line. Clear victory there for our series leader. Never in doubt there for Elise Andrews.
Andrews just didn't allow Mitchell to open up a decent gap that she could rush into on the final lap there. Tactically and technically, that was a great showing there by Andrews. And despite Kelsey Mitchell's 1,500 watts, she was just stuck in the slipstream there on the black line.
So the men's Keirin final, our penultimate event of the evening here at Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines. So these are our riders qualified for the final. Quintero, Spies, Richardson, Kuhl, Lavraisen and Rujic. Looking at Matt Richardson now, he's just laying off the wheel a little bit from Rujic, looking over his shoulder, and it's John Spies is about to make a move. No one can come past the dirty until he leaves the track, which is now, and race is underway.
John Spies takes the lead, and I think Harry will be quite happy to see that for now. It means he can save a little bit of energy in the slipstream, but he won't want to get boxed in.
So Lavraisen just letting down Kuhl past as well. 2 laps to go. Lavraisen is in third. Rujic is on his wheel. Richardson just behind that. Our world champion is towards the back, but it is John Spies of South Africa leading it out at the moment. Harry Lavraisen comes around alongside, accelerates down that home straight into the lead. Rujic on his wheel. Lavraisen is powering away down that back straight. Seated acceleration. Look at that cadence. Rujic is the only rider who can respond. Richardson is there. Can he come round on the line? Lavraisen all the way.
Wow, he just led that out, Joe. It's an awful lot easier to follow a rider when they're going at high speeds like that. You can save a lot of energy by being in the slipstream, but nobody stood a chance. They were pinned to his wheel and they couldn't put their nose in the wind.
And here are your standings for the men's sprints. The first time it's not been the perfect point score for Harry Lavraisen. 117 points, though, from a possible 120 is not bad. Richardson there, 93 points in second, and there is the second half of your field on the screen now. Just having a confirmation there of your riders qualified for the final of the Keirin. Emma Finucane, Lowry Thomas, Alessa Catriona Propster, Nikki de Grendela, Elise Andrews and Marta Bayona. So Finucane comes over, out the saddle, accelerating into that home straight now. Clear gap for her over Lowry Thomas, also of Great Britain. Propster now taking the opportunity to come around Lowry Thomas. Marta Bayona is right there on the wheel there of Propster, picking a brilliant wheel there to come into the final lap to go this time, and it is Propster that leads. Finucane there is just starting to fade ever so slightly, and Nikki de Grendela is coming through there underneath Bayona, but look at the power of Alessa Catriona Propster down the home straight. Final event, Propster takes it by a bike length there from Nikki de Grendela. That was phenomenal.
Propster showing the form from round 1 there. She really looked great. Emma Finucane took the front, and I think that effort cost her. You know, we sort of like saw her slipping back on the last lap there, but Propster timed that to perfection. She did have to lead it out from a long way out, but she clearly had the legs.
Here are your standings for the Women's Sprint League. So, Elise Andrews, after 4 perfect events from a possible 6, she is the leader on 105 points. Catriona Propster making a really strong comeback here with another win. She is in second. Just seeing the second half of the table here. Kate Willard's up to 10th. Vecchia 11th, Janest in 12th. Down to Ruby Heusman there in 18th.